I'm sitting on a sagging mattress in a damp, moldy basement apartment in the sketchiest part of Seattle. The kind of place where the walls are stained with water damage, the air smells like mildew and regret, and the only light comes from a buzzing fluorescent bulb that flickers every few seconds, casting eerie shadows that dance across the room like ghosts of my past mistakes. My name's Ashley, I'm 27, and I used to think I had my life together. A sweet boyfriend named Tyler, a job as a barista at a cozy coffee shop in Capitol Hill, and a cute apartment with a view of the Space Needle on clear days, where I'd wake up to the sound of rain tapping on my window, the scent of fresh coffee grounds in the air, and the warmth of Tyler's arms around me, his breath soft against my neck, his presence a comfort I thought I'd never lose. I'd spend my mornings perfecting latte art, my afternoons dreaming of a future with Tyler, and my evenings curled up on our couch, his hand in mine, our laughter filling the space, our love a fragile thing I thought was unbreakable. But that was before I messed it all up, before I let my impulses take over, before I betrayed the one person I thought I'd never hurt. Now I'm broke, alone, and plotting revenge against the two people who turned my life into this nightmare. Tyler and his brother, Kyle, their faces haunting my every thought, their actions a wound I can't heal. I met Tyler 3 years ago at the coffee shop where I worked, a quaint little place with exposed brick walls, mismatched chairs, and a chalkboard menu I'd update every morning with colorful doodles. I was 24, juggling espresso shots and latte art, my apron stained with caramel syrup, my hair pulled back in a messy ponytail, my smile forced after a long shift, my feet aching from standing for hours, my mind wandering to dreams of a life beyond the counter. Tyler was 26, an IT guy with a shy smile and warm brown eyes, the kind of guy who'd tip extra and leave a little note on the receipt that said, "You made my day," his handwriting neat, his kindness a light in my otherwise mundane routine. He'd come in every morning for a black coffee, no sugar, and we'd chat about the weather, his latest coding project, or the new bakery down the street that made the best croissants, our conversations small but meaningful, our connection growing with every cup I poured. One day, he slipped me his number on a napkin, his handwriting careful, his message simple. "I'd love to take you out sometime." My heart skipped a beat, my cheeks flushing as I tucked the napkin into my pocket, my hope a fragile thing I hadn't felt in years, a spark I wanted to chase. We started dating, and it felt like a dream I never wanted to wake up from. Tyler was the kind of guy who'd bring me flowers just because it was Tuesday, who'd fix my laptop when it crashed during a late-night design project, who'd hold my hand during scary movies even though he'd seen them a dozen times, his laughter a melody I couldn't get enough of. We'd go on long walks through Pike Place Market, the air smelling of fresh fish and flowers, his arm around my shoulders as we'd share a warm pretzel, the salt on my lips a memory I cherished. We moved in together a year ago, our apartment a cozy space with mismatched furniture, a tiny kitchen where I'd bake cookies on weekends, the smell of chocolate chips filling the air, and a balcony where we'd sip wine and watch the city lights, the skyline a canvas of dreams we painted together. I'd come home from my shifts, the smell of coffee clinging to my clothes, my hands still jittery from the caffeine, and he'd be there, his laptop open, his smile lighting up the room, his voice a balm to my tired soul. "How was your day, babe?" he'd ask, pulling me into a hug, his warmth a comfort I thought would last forever, his love a promise I thought was mine to keep. But I'm not perfect, far from it. I've always been impulsive, the kind of person who acts first and thinks later, who lets her emotions take the wheel and crashes hard when things go wrong, my heart a reckless driver I can't control. 6 months ago, Tyler and I had a fight, a big one, the kind that leaves scars you can't see, the kind that changes everything. He'd been working late every night, coming home exhausted, barely talking to me, his attention glued to his phone, his mind somewhere I couldn't reach. I felt ignored, invisible, like I was losing him to his job, to his stress, to something I couldn't name, couldn't fight, couldn't fix. "You don't even see me anymore," I shouted, my voice echoing in our tiny living room, my hands shaking as I stood by the couch, a half-empty wine glass on the coffee table, the red liquid catching the light like blood. I'm trying, Ashley, he snapped back, his eyes tired, his tone sharp, his patience fraying. I'm working my ass off for us, for our future, and all you do is complain. Maybe if you had a real job, you'd understand. His words stung, a slap I didn't expect, a wound I couldn't heal. He stormed out, slamming the door, the sound a gunshot in the silence, leaving me alone with my anger, my hurt, my loneliness, my wine glass empty, my heart emptier. That's when Kyle came into the picture, a storm I didn't see coming, a mistake I didn't know I'd make. Kyle, Tyler's older brother, 31, an auto mechanic with a cocky grin and a leather jacket, the kind of guy who knew exactly what to say to make you feel seen, his charm a dangerous thing, his intentions a mystery I didn't care to solve. He'd always been around, dropping by to borrow tools or crash on our couch after a late night, his presence a constant, his gaze a little too lingering, his smile a little too knowing. I'd always thought he was trouble, the kind of guy who'd break your heart and laugh about it, but that night I didn't care. I called him, my voice shaky, my wine glass empty, my judgment clouded, my loneliness a void I needed to fill. Tyler and I had a fight, I said, my words slurring slightly, my heart aching for someone to listen, for someone to care, for someone to see me. I'm coming over, Kyle replied, his tone smooth, his intentions unclear, at least to me in that moment, in that haze of wine and despair. Kyle showed up at the apartment an hour later, his boots heavy on the hardwood floor, his cologne a mix of motor oil and cedarwood, his presence a distraction I didn't know I needed, a temptation I didn't know I'd fall for. We talked, we drank, we laughed, and then, well, I don't know how it happened, but it did. 1 minute we were on the couch, his arm brushing against mine, his laugh low and warm, his eyes locked on mine. The next we were in my bedroom, the sheets tangled, my guilt buried beneath the heat of the moment, my loneliness drowned in the rush of his touch. It was a mistake, a reckless, stupid mistake, but in that moment I didn't care. I felt wanted, desired, alive in a way I hadn't felt with Tyler in months, my heart racing, my skin burning, my mind silent for the first time in weeks. The next morning, I woke up to an empty bed, Kyle gone, my head pounding, my shame a heavy weight I couldn't shake, my reflection in the mirror a stranger I didn't recognize, a girl who'd betrayed the man she loved, a girl who'd crossed a line she couldn't uncross. I never told Tyler. I couldn't. I pushed the memory down, locked it away, told myself it was a one-time thing, a lapse in judgment, a secret I'd take to my grave, a sin I'd bury deep. But I'm not good at keeping secrets, not really. I started writing in my diary again, a habit I'd picked up in high school, a way to process my thoughts, my fears, my mistakes, my guilt a storm I couldn't weather alone. I wrote about that night with Kyle, every detail, every feeling, every regret, the ink smudging where my tears fell, the pages a confession I couldn't speak out loud, a truth I couldn't face in the light of day. I wrote about the way Kyle's hands felt on my skin, the way his voice whispered my name, the way I'd felt alive for a fleeting moment, the way I'd hated myself the second it was over. I kept the diary on my nightstand, its leather cover worn, its pages a ticking time bomb I didn't see coming, a Pandora's box I didn't know I'd open. The morning it all fell apart, I was running late for work, my mind a mess, my body on autopilot, my heart heavy with the weight of my secret. I'd overslept, my alarm silenced by a dead phone battery, my shift starting in 20 minutes, my manager's voice echoing in my head. Don't be late again, Ashley. I rushed around the apartment, pulling on my apron, grabbing my bag, my hair a tangled mess, my mind scattered, my thoughts a whirlwind of guilt and fear. The diary was open on the kitchen table. I'd been writing in it the night before, pouring out my guilt, my fear, my longing to fix things with Tyler, my words a desperate plea to myself, a promise I didn't know how to keep. I hate myself for what I did with Kyle, I'd written, my handwriting shaky, my tears staining the page. I love Tyler so much, but I don't know how to tell him, how to fix this, how to be the girl he deserves. I'm so scared he'll find out, so scared I'll lose him, so scared I've already lost myself. I didn't think to close it, didn't think to hide it, didn't think Tyler would be home early from his morning run, didn't think my world was about to implode. I'll be back by noon. I called out as I left, my voice hurried, my mistake already in motion, my secret already exposed, my life already unraveling. I came home from my shift at 3, 00 p.m., my feet aching, my apron still tied around my waist, the smell of espresso clinging to my skin, my hands jittery from the caffeine, my mind still replaying the morning's chaos. The apartment was quiet, too quiet, the kind of silence that feels like a storm waiting to break, a tension I could feel in my bones. Tyler's running shoes were by the door, his water bottle on the counter, his jacket slung over the couch, but he wasn't in the living room, wasn't on the balcony, wasn't anywhere I could see, his absence a warning I didn't heed. "Tyler," I called, my voice tentative, my stomach twisting with a sudden, unexplainable dread, my heart pounding in my chest, my breath shallow, my fear a living thing I couldn't name. I walked into the kitchen, and there he was sitting at the table, my diary open in front of him, his face pale, his eyes dark with a fury I'd never seen before, a storm I'd never weathered, a rage I'd never imagined. "Ashley," he said, his voice low, dangerous, a tone that sent a chill down my spine, a tone that told me everything had changed, a tone that told me I'd lost him before he even spoke. He held up the diary, his hands trembling, his knuckles white, his grip so tight I thought the leather cover might tear. "What the hell is this?" My heart stopped, my breath caught in my throat, my mind racing as I realized what he'd read, what he'd found, what I'd done, my secret laid bare, my betrayal exposed, my life unraveling in front of me. The page was open to that night. The night with Kyle, my handwriting messy, my words a confession I couldn't take back, a truth I couldn't hide, a sin I couldn't erase. I can explain," I stammered, my voice shaking, my hands clammy, my legs weak as I took a step toward him, my desperation a plea, my fear a cage, my guilt a noose around my neck. "Explain," he roared, slamming the diary down on the table, the sound echoing like a gunshot, making me flinch, making my heart jump, making my world tilt. "You slept with my brother, Ashley, my brother, Kyle, in our bed in our home while I was out there working for us, for you, for this life we were supposed to have." His voice cracked, his eyes glistening with tears, his pain raw, his betrayal a wound I'd inflicted, a scar I'd carved into his heart. "How could you do this to me? How could you do this to us? How could you be so selfish, so cruel, so heartless?" He stood up, his chair scraping against the floor, his body towering over me, his anger a storm I couldn't escape, his hurt a mirror I couldn't look away from, his love a memory I couldn't hold on to. "I was drunk, Tyler," I cried, my tears falling, my voice desperate, my excuses hollow even to my own ears, my words a flimsy shield against his rage. "We had that fight, and I felt so alone, so unwanted, so invisible, and Kyle was there, and it just happened. I didn't mean for it to happen, I swear. I love you so much, and I've been tearing myself apart over this ever since, hating myself, punishing myself, wishing I could take it back." I reached for him, my hands trembling, my heart pleading, my eyes searching his for a glimmer of forgiveness, a spark of hope, a chance to fix this, but he stepped back, his face twisting with disgust, his rejection a knife to my chest, a blade I couldn't pull out. "You love me," he spat, his voice dripping with venom, his eyes cold, his love gone, his warmth a distant memory, his trust a shattered thing I couldn't repair. "You don't love me, Ashley. You don't even know what love is. You betrayed me with my own brother, the one person I thought I could trust, the one person I thought would never hurt me like this, the one person I thought would never take you from me. And you wrote about it, every disgusting detail, like it was some kind of trophy, some kind of story to tell, some kind of victory to relive." He grabbed the diary again, flipping to the page, reading aloud, his voice shaking with rage, his words a lash against my skin. "Kyle made me feel alive, like I mattered, like I was enough. You felt alive with him, in our bed, while I was out there thinking about our future, planning our life, dreaming of a family with you." I sobbed, my hands covering my face, my shame a weight I couldn't bear, my guilt a fire I couldn't extinguish, my regret a scream I couldn't silence. "I'm sorry, Tyler, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you, I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I was lost, I was broken, I was stupid, and I made a mistake, a terrible mistake, but I love you, I swear I do. Please, let's talk about this, let's fix this, let's find a way to move past this, to heal, to be us again." I fell to my knees, my hands reaching for him, my voice raw, my tears soaking the floor, my desperation a prayer I knew he wouldn't answer. He looked down at me, his eyes hard, his jaw clenched, his heart closed, his decision made. "There's nothing to fix, Ashley," he said, his voice a snarl, his patience gone, his love a ghost I couldn't touch. "You broke us. You broke me. Get out." I froze, my breath hitching, my mind reeling, my hope fading, my world crumbling, my future slipping through my fingers like sand. "What?" I whispered, my voice small, my eyes wide, my heart begging for a reprieve, for a second chance, for a miracle I didn't deserve. "Get out!" he shouted, his voice booming, his finger pointing at the door, his decision final, his anger a wall I couldn't climb, his pain a chasm I couldn't cross. "I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear you. I don't want you in my life anymore. Pack your stuff and leave. Now, I can't even look at you without seeing him, without seeing what you did, without feeling sick to my stomach." I stood there, my body trembling, my tears soaking my cheeks, my heart shattering into a million pieces, my mind a whirlwind of panic and despair, my life a house of cards collapsing around me. I wanted to beg, to plead, to fall to my knees again and promise I'd change, promise I'd be better, promise I'd make it right. But the look in his eyes stopped me. Cold, hard, unyielding, a look that told me I'd lost him forever. A look that told me I'd never be his again. A look that told me I'd never be enough. I stumbled to the bedroom, my vision blurred, my hands shaking as I grabbed a duffel bag, stuffing it with clothes, my toothbrush, a photo of us at the beach last summer. My fingers lingering on the frame, my tears falling on the glass, my memories a pain I couldn't escape. I glanced at the bed, the sheets still unmade. The memory of that night with Kyle a ghost I couldn't banish, a mistake I couldn't undo, a sin I couldn't wash away. Tyler stood in the doorway, his arms crossed, his silence louder than any words, his judgment a weight I'd carry for the rest of my life, his rejection a scar I'd never heal. I left the apartment, the door slamming behind me, the sound a final goodbye, a final end to the life I'd known, the love I'd had, the future I'd dreamed of, the girl I'd been. I stood on the sidewalk, the Seattle rain soaking through my jacket, my bag heavy on my shoulder, my tears mixing with the drizzle, my life in ruins, my heart in pieces, my guilt a shadow I couldn't outrun, my shame a chain I couldn't break, my loneliness a void I couldn't fill. The days after Tyler kicked me out were a blur of despair, a downward spiral I couldn't stop, a freefall I couldn't slow, a darkness I couldn't escape. I had nowhere to go, no one to turn to, my friends siding with Tyler after he told them what I'd done, their messages cold, their judgment clear, their loyalty a thing of the past. "You're disgusting, Ashley," one texted, her words a slap I couldn't dodge, a truth I couldn't deny, a wound I couldn't heal. Another friend, someone I'd known since high school, blocked me without a word, her silence louder than any insult, her absence a hole in my heart, her betrayal a mirror of my own. I couch-surfed for a week, crashing with a coworker named Jenna, who barely tolerated me, her sighs loud every time I walked through the door, her patience thin, her hospitality a ticking clock, her apartment a temporary refuge I knew I'd overstay. "You need to figure this out, Ashley," she said on the 5th day, her voice sharp, her eyes tired, her kindness exhausted, her door closing behind me as I left with my duffel bag, my pride in tatters, my hope a distant memory. I lost my job at the coffee shop a few days later, my life unraveling faster than I could catch the threads, my mistakes piling up like bricks in a wall I couldn't climb. My manager caught me crying in the storage room, my hands shaking as I tried to grind beans, my focus gone, my energy drained, my tears falling onto the bags of coffee, my sobs echoing in the small space. "I can't have you breaking down during shifts, Ashley," she said, her voice firm, her decision made, her sympathy non-existent, my livelihood gone, my identity as a barista stripped away, my purpose a thing of the past. I begged her to give me another chance, my voice desperate, my hands clasped, my dignity a price I was willing to pay, but she shook her head, her expression cold, her words final. "I'm sorry, but you're done here." I left the shop, my apron in my hand, my tears soaking the fabric, my future a blank page I didn't know how to fill, my past a weight I couldn't carry. With no job and no savings, I couldn't afford a decent place to live, my options dwindling, my desperation growing, my life a puzzle I couldn't solve. I found a basement apartment in a rough part of Seattle, a damp, moldy space with peeling wallpaper, a mattress that smelled like mildew, and a single flickering bulb that buzzed like a dying insect, its light harsh, its glow unsteady, its presence a mockery of the warmth I'd lost. The air was thick with the scent of decay, the walls stained with water damage, the floor cold against my bare feet, the windows covered with grime, the view a brick wall that blocked out the sun, the space a prison I couldn't escape. I'd sit on the mattress, my knees pulled to my chest, my hands wrapped around a chipped mug of instant coffee, the taste bitter, the warmth fleeting, the comfort non-existent, the silence deafening, the loneliness suffocating, the despair a tide I couldn't swim against. I'd stare at the walls, the stains spreading like a disease, the cracks in the ceiling a map of my broken life, my broken heart, my broken self, my thoughts a loop of regret and pain, my memories a knife I couldn't stop twisting. I tried to find another job, my desperation a fire that kept me moving, my pride a casualty I couldn't mourn. I applied at other coffee shops, at diners, at retail stores, my resume a thin sheet of paper, my experience a barista's smile, my confidence a thing of the past. But no one was hearing, or maybe they could see the mess I'd become, the way my hands shook, the way my eyes darted, the way my voice cracked when I spoke, my heartbreak a neon sign I couldn't hide. I'd walk back to my basement apartment, the rain soaking through my thin jacket, my shoes squelching on the pavement, my bag heavy with rejection letters, my heart heavy with failure, my life a shadow of what it had been, my dreams a pile of ash I couldn't sift through. I couldn't stop thinking about Tyler, about the look on his face when he read my diary, about the way he'd screamed at me, about the way he'd thrown me out like I was nothing, like I'd never mattered, like I'd never been his, like I'd never been enough. I'd scroll through his Instagram late at night, my phone screen cracked, my battery dying, my tears blurring the images of his new life, my jealousy a poison I couldn't stop drinking. He'd moved on, posting pictures of himself at tech events, his smile forced but present, his life continuing while mine fell apart, his happiness a taunt I couldn't ignore. I saw a photo of him with a new girl, a blonde with a bright smile, her arm around him, her caption a dagger, feeling on top of the world with this guy. My stomach twisted, my chest ached, my jealousy a fire I couldn't put out, my anger a storm I couldn't calm, my pain a wound I couldn't close. But the real blow came a month later, when I ran into Kyle at a gas station near his auto shop. A chance encounter that would change everything, a moment that would shatter me all over again. I was filling up my beat-up car, my hands cold, my jacket thin, my life a mess, my tank on empty, my wallet emptier, when I saw him leaning against his truck, his leather jacket scuffed, his grin as cocky as ever, his presence a reminder of my biggest mistake, a ghost I couldn't banish, a demon I couldn't exorcise. "Hey, Ashley," he called, his voice casual, his tone a taunt, his eyes glinting with something dark, something cruel, something I didn't want to see. I froze, my heart racing, my anger rising, my shame a weight I couldn't shake, my guilt a chain I couldn't break, my rage a fire I couldn't control. "What do you want, Kyle?" I snapped, my voice sharp, my eyes narrowing, my hands gripping the gas pump, my knuckles white, my fear a whisper I couldn't silence. He smirked, his eyes glinting with malice, his smile a blade, his words a bomb I didn't see coming. "I heard Tyler kicked you out," he said, his tone mocking, his words a jab, his cruelty a thing I couldn't fathom. "Guess he didn't take too kindly to our little night together." I clenched my jaw, my fists tightening, my rage boiling, my heart pounding, my mind screaming, my pain a fire I couldn't extinguish. "You don't get to talk about that," I hissed, my voice low, my pain raw, my regret a scream I couldn't silence, my shame a shadow I couldn't outrun. But Kyle just laughed, his laugh cold, his intentions clear, his truth a revelation I wasn't ready for. "Oh, come on, Ashley," he said, stepping closer, his voice a whisper, his confession a dagger to my heart. "You think that night was an accident? I planned it. Tyler and I have been at each other's throats for years, over money, over our dad's will, over everything. I saw a chance to get back at him, and you were the perfect pawn. You were so desperate for attention, so easy to play, so eager to feel something, anything. I knew if I got you to sleep with me, it'd destroy him. And it did." My blood ran cold, my breath hitching, my mind reeling as his words sank in, as his truth shattered me, as his betrayal cut deeper than anything I'd felt before. Planned it? A pawn? He. used me, manipulated me, turned my moment of weakness into a weapon against his own brother, against me, against everything I'd held dear, against everything I'd thought I knew. "You're lying," I whispered, my voice trembling, my hope a fragile thread, my denial a shield I couldn't hold, my heart a broken thing I couldn't mend. But Kyle just shrugged, his smirk widening, his cruelty a blade, his victory a crown he wore with pride. "Believe what you want, sweetheart," he said, turning to walk away, his parting words a final blow, a final nail in the coffin of my life. "But you should have known better than to trust a guy like me." I stood there, the gas pump clicking off, the rain starting to fall, my tears mixing with the droplets, my world shattering all over again, my pain a tidal wave I couldn't swim against, my anger a volcano I couldn't contain. Kyle hadn't just slept with me, he'd orchestrated the whole thing, played me like a fool, used my pain to fuel his vendetta against Tyler, used my loneliness to win his twisted game, used my heart to break his brother, to break mine, to break everything. I thought I was the one who'd made the mistake, but I'd been a puppet, a tool, a means to an end, a pawn in a war I didn't know I was fighting, a casualty in a battle I didn't know I'd lost. My guilt turned to rage, my shame turned to fury, my heartbreak turned to a burning need for revenge, not just against Tyler, but against Kyle, the man who'd set this whole nightmare in motion, the man who'd turned my life into ash, the man who'd laughed as I burned. I've been in this moldy basement for 2 months now, and every day the anger grows, a fire that keeps me warm in this cold, damp hell, a flame that keeps me alive, a purpose that keeps me going. I'm sitting on the mattress, my back against the peeling wall, my phone in my hand, staring at a photo of Tyler and his new girlfriend at a tech conference, their smiles a taunt, their happiness a slap in the face, their love a reminder of what I've lost, what I'll never have again, what I'll never deserve. I scroll to Kyle's profile next, his latest post a picture of him at his auto shop, his arms crossed, his grin smug, his life untouched by the chaos he caused, the chaos he created, the chaos he forced me into, his victory a crown I want to tear off, his pride a thing I want to shatter. My stomach churns, my eyes burn, and I can't stop the rage from consuming me, the need for revenge a pulse in my veins, a purpose I cling to, a mission I woe abandon. I keep replaying that moment in my head, the moment Tyler found my diary, the moment he read about my night with Kyle, the moment he threw me out of our home, out of his life, out of everything I thought we'd built, out of everything I thought I was. I can still see the diary on the table, its pages open, my handwriting a confession I couldn't take back, my secrets a bomb that exploded in my face, my life a house of cards that collapsed with a single breath. I can still hear Tyler's voice, his "you slept with my brother," his "get out." The way his words cut through me, the way his anger broke me, the way his rejection left me with nothing, with no one, with nowhere to go. And then Kyle's confession at the gas station, his "I planned it," his "you were the perfect pawn," the way he laughed, the way he walked away, the way he left me to drown in the wreckage he'd made, the wreckage he'd planned, the wreckage he'd wanted. I thought I was the villain in this story, the one who'd cheated, the one who'd betrayed, the one who'd ruined everything, the one who'd set this all in motion. But now I see the truth. Tyler and Kyle are the ones who destroyed me, the ones who turned my life into this nightmare, the ones who deserve to pay for what they did, the ones who deserve to feel the pain I feel, the loss I feel, the emptiness I feel. Tyler threw me out without a second thought, without giving me a chance to explain, without caring about the pain I was in, the pain that led me to that night with Kyle, the pain that made me vulnerable, the pain that made me human. And Kyle, he used me, manipulated me, turned my vulnerability into a weapon, a way to hurt his brother, a way to hurt me, a way to win whatever twisted game he was playing, a way to prove he could break us both. I decide to hit them where it hurts most. Their reputations, their pride, their perfect little lives, the things they value more than they ever valued me, the things they think I can't touch, the things they think I can't destroy. I start with Tyler, my anger a fire I can't control, my revenge a plan I can't abandon, my justice a thing I can't deny. I know he's up for a big promotion at his IT company, a job he's been working toward for years, a job he's been bragging about on social media, a job he thinks is his, a job he thinks he deserves. I still have access to his work email. I'd set up his account on my laptop a year ago, and he never changed the password, Never thought I'd use it against him, never thought I'd fight back, never thought I'd be the one to bring him down. I log in, my hands shaking, my heart racing, my anger a fire I can't extinguish, my fingers trembling as I type, my mind focused, my goal clear. I draft an email to his boss, attaching screenshots of his private messages, messages where he'd trash-talked the company, called his boss a micromanaging idiot, complained about his workload, his tone arrogant, his words reckless, his attitude a thing I knew would cost him everything. I add a note, pretending to be an anonymous coworker. Thought you should see what Tyler really thinks of you. I hit send, my breath hitching, my satisfaction a bitter taste, my revenge a small victory in a war I'm determined to win, my justice a thing I can't deny, my pain a thing I can't forget. Next, I turn to Kyle, my rage a storm I can't calm, my need for vengeance a hunger I can't sate, my target clear, my plan precise. I know his auto shop is his pride and joy, the one thing he's built for himself, the one thing he cares about more than anything, the one thing he thinks I can't touch, the one thing he thinks is safe. I create a fake Yelp account, my fingers flying across the keyboard, my anger pouring into every word, my pain a fuel I can't stop burning, my revenge a masterpiece I can't stop painting. I write a scathing review, claiming I'd taken my car to his shop, that he'd overcharged me, that he'd done shoddy work, that my engine failed a week later, my words sharp, my lies convincing, my damage intentional. I add details, dates, times, a fake invoice number, making it sound as real as possible, as damaging as possible, as devastating as possible, a blow he won't see coming, a blow he won't recover from. I post the review, then create another account, and another, each one adding to the pile, each one a blow to his business, each one a piece of the revenge I deserve, each one a step toward the justice I crave, each one a reminder of the pain he caused, the pain he planned, the pain he laughed at. I watch as the reviews go live, my heart pounding, my smile cold, my justice a fire I can't extinguish, my victory a thing I can't deny, my anger a thing I can't let go. I sit back, my phone in my lap, my breath steady for the first time in months, my anger a quiet simmer, my revenge a balm to my wounds, my heart a battlefield I've finally won, my soul a war zone I've finally conquered. I know what I've done won't fix my life, won't bring Tyler back, won't erase that night with Kyle, won't make me whole again, won't make me the girl I used to be, won't make me the girl I want to be. But it feels good, it feels right. It feels like the only thing I can do to make them hurt the way I hurt, to make them feel the way I feel, to make them pay for what they did to me, to make them see the wreckage they left behind, to make them face the monster they created. I look around my basement apartment, the moldy walls, the flickering bulb, the cold floor, the grimy windows, the brick wall outside, and I tell myself this is their fault, not mine, not my actions, not my choices, not my mistakes, not my betrayal, not my guilt, not my shame. They did this to me, I whisper, my voice low, my eyes fixed on the cracked ceiling, my hands clenched into fists, my tears long gone, my rage all that's left, my anger a fire that keeps me warm, my revenge a light that keeps me sane. Tyler should have listened, should have understood, should have given me a chance to explain, to make things right, to fix us, to heal us, to save us. He threw me out like I was trash, like I didn't matter, like I wasn't worth fighting for, like I wasn't worth loving, like I wasn't worth anything. And Kyle, he used me, played me, turned me into a pawn in his sick game, a way to hurt his brother, a way to hurt me, a way to win, a way to prove he could break us both, a way to laugh as I fell. They both broke me, they both ruined me, they both left me here, in this hell, with nothing, with no one, with nowhere to go, with no way out, with no way back. They deserve this, they deserve worse, they deserve everything I can give them, everything I can take from them, everything I can destroy. I know I'm wrong, deep down, I know I'm the one who cheated, the one who wrote those words in my diary, the one who left it open for Tyler to find, the one who let my impulses take over, the one who let my loneliness lead me to Kyle, the one who let my guilt fester until it exploded, the one who set this all in motion, the one who lit the match, the one who started the fire, the one who burned it all down. But I can't admit that, can't face that, can't let myself see the truth. that I'm the one who destroyed my own life, that I'm the one who needs to change, that I'm the one who needs to heal, that I'm the one who needs to grow, that I'm the one who needs to learn. Instead, I cling to my anger, my revenge, my need to make them pay, to make them hurt, to make them see what they've done to me, to make them feel the weight of my pain, the depth of my loss, the fire of my rage. I set my phone down, my hands steady, my heart cold, my mind clear, my purpose set, and stare at the wall, the flickering bulb casting shadows, the sound of rain outside a distant hum, the weight of my loneliness a familiar ache, the weight of my anger a new strength, the weight of my revenge a new hope, and wonder if this is who I am now. A girl who breaks, a girl who burns, a girl who fights back, a girl who will never be whole again, a girl who will never be free, a girl who will never be me.